This whole Ukraine situation has been putting me down now for quite a few days, and I've been thinking about it a lot. I'm making this video today because it's just something that I really feel the need to talk about, and it's really getting to me just for a variety of reasons, and I'm sure I'll tell you all about them a little bit later on in the video. This really is one of those situations that we all need to be aware of what's going on and why it's going on. And I'm not making this just because, you know, it's trending and it's out there at the moment. I'm making this because it's generally something that's putting me down in a way. It's a subject matter that I just can't stop thinking about, and knowing that we can't do anything about it, it's pretty sad. It is pretty sad, and I just need to get this whole thing off my chest, should we call it. And I've just taken a few days away just to relax and figure out how I'm basically going to talk about this whole situation without getting angry or upset. Because I know over the past 3 days there's been some things that I've tweeted out and said which haven't been the nicest of things about Putin and all that, because quite frankly he is a disgusting human being, and I've made that known on my social platforms for the past 3 days, and I'm going to show you guys as much as I can, just because this whole situation obviously needs to be seen and heard. Now, first of all, with each and every video I usually tend to be quite unbiased towards situations, but you may find that I'm going to be quite biased on this one, because I completely disagree with what Putin is doing, and I'm pretty sure that goes for almost everyone who's watching this video right now. And like I said, I think he's an absolutely disgusting individual. And let's not forget that Vladimir Putin is just a human being. He's just like you, and he's just like me. Yes, he's got power, but he's not immortal. He's just a human being. And it's absolutely sickening that another human being can hurt hundreds and thousands of other human beings just to get things going their way. So this situation's basically been building up since 2013, with the president Viktor Yanukovych rejecting a deal that would provide greater economic integration within the EU. In March 2014, Russian troops of course took over Crimea. It's known that violence since then has estimated to have killed over 10,300 people, with almost 24,000 injured since April 2014. Ukraine has also been subject to many cyber attacks since then, including over 225,000 people losing power to their homes in December 2015, a power blackout in December 2016, and government and business systems being hit with a large cyber attack called the NotPetya attack in June 2017. The full-scale invasion then of course began on the 24th of February 2022. Unfortunately, so far this has caused over 100 civilian casualties, as well as tens of thousands of Ukrainian citizens to become refugees, fleeing to other countries. It's been known that this invasion was likely to kick off in around October 2021, as Russian troops and military equipment was actually moved onto the border between Russia and Ukraine. This was all released as public intelligence in December 2021, where a warning was put out about the impending Russian invasion. It was around this time that the US started sending supplies to Ukraine. In early February 2022, Biden also sent over 3,000 troops to the surrounding NATO countries, specifically Poland and Romania, with the impending invasion in mind. Russian forces then began to increase. In late February, it was known that the invasion was about to happen. On February 24th, the United Nations Security Council tried to dissuade Russia from invading Ukraine. This was unsuccessful as Putin announced that he would launch a full air, land and sea-scaled invasion, which now basically leads us to the horror that we're seeing today. So why is it happening? Putin is invading Ukraine as he believes that Ukraine is a constant threat. NATO countries are currently surrounding the borders of Russia, and he believes that Ukraine are a constant threat, as if they were to become a part of NATO, then he'd basically be surrounded on all sides by military, for example, US missiles and whatnot. Now to me, this is an extremely irrational and fascist way of going about things, as I'm sure many other people would agree. Now apparently Putin's made a statement that he's doing this to protect people in Ukraine, specifically people being subjected to bullying and genocide. And he's also frequently accused Ukraine of being taken over by extremists. And he's also made the very bold statement of saying that Ukraine needs to be cleansed of the Nazis. You see, these are all irrational and false beliefs, as all he's doing with these beliefs is hurting and ending the lives of innocent people. And it truly is a terrifying time for the people of Ukraine, of course, and for everybody else in the world. And it's probably the first time that we've seen a country invading its neighbour since World War II. And it's also scary for the citizens of Russia as well. This whole thing isn't supported by the Russian population, but rather selfish, high-up government officials, as well as Putin himself. So I finished up writing these notes literally 10 minutes before recording this, and at this moment in time, right now, Ukraine have agreed to hold talks with Russia on the Belarusian border, I believe. So at this moment in time, it's just a matter of waiting to see what's going to happen after that. And obviously that's not the full extent of everything that's going on. That would take just so long, and I honestly don't have the energy to want to go into finer details of this. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen a lot of things on the media, a lot of things on your Twitters, your Facebook, YouTube and whatnot. And for now, I just want to show you guys some things that will really make the reality of this situation sink in. And as I speak right now, I'm pretty sure that Russian troops were trying to make their way into Kiev to take that over, and that's the last I heard of it, really. I've not really been trying to look up much about it this weekend, because I didn't want to think about it. I just did not want to think about it until tonight. But the last I heard, troops were making their way into Kiev, and now, obviously, they're meant to be having talks with Russia on the Belarusian border. So I'm gonna show you guys a few clips now. You don't need my commentary over them. I'll tell you what the initial clip's about and then just show you exactly what's going on. So this first clip, if I'm not mistaken, is a clip of a woman asking Russian soldiers to put sunflower seeds in their pockets so that when they die on Ukrainian ground, the ground will basically sprout up sunflowers and make the place look nice afterwards. Take a look at this clip. It's from a newspaper called The Guardian.
Які вчення? Звідки ви? Які вчення? Ви що, росіяни?
Да.
Якого хера ви тут робите?
Ну, сейчас наш с вами разговор ни к чему не приведет.
Вы оккупанты, вы фашисты, вы пришли на нашу землю.
Хорошо.
Какого хера вы пришли с оружием к нам?
Кто сказал?
Возьмите семечки, положите сырые, чтобы хоть подсолнухи росли, когда вы здесь пляшете.
Сейчас наш разговор ни к чему не приведет. Давайте не будем усугублять эту ситуацию. Пожалуйста.
Как усугублять
Пожалуйста,
ситуацию?
не будем усугублять ситуацию. Наш с вами
Ребята,
разговор ни к чему не
Ребята,
приведет.
положите в карманы
Ничего не
семечки.
решит наш с вами разговор.
Я поняла, положите семечки или
Хорошо.
семена цветов. Вы здесь семенами ляжете.
Сделаю.
Вы
Да,
пришли на мою землю.
Хорошо, я вас выслушал.
Вы понимаете?
Я вас
Вы
выслушал.
оккупанты.
Хорошо.
Вы враги.
Да.
И вы уже с этой секунды прокляты.
Да.
Я вам отвечаю.
Все. Теперь послушайте меня.
Я вас услышала.
Не будем усугублять ситуацию, пройдите.
А куда уже усугублять? Вы пришли, блядь, непрошенные
Хорошо.
твари, конченые.
The next clip is another one from The Guardian. This is a voice clip of Russian warships asking Ukrainian soldiers on Snake Island to surrender their arms or put down their guns and surrender themselves, which basically leads to the Ukrainian soldiers standing their ground. Now, all 13 of these people were unfortunately killed after this voice clip. Take a look.
Я русский корабль, повторяю, предлагаю сложить оружие, сдаться, иначе по вам будет нанесен удар. Как поняли меня? Прием.
Ну все. Нахуй тоже надо.
Русский военный корабль, иди нахуй.
There's also a clip of a civilian car being crushed by a tank. Now, while it's horrific to watch, the man in the car did, however, survive. Just take a look at this.
Вот урод. Давай, давай, просто зажало и...
The next clip is a clip from Sky News. It's a clip of Putin's speech towards Ukraine and to their Ukrainian soldiers, as well as to other soldiers that have been situated within Ukraine to help out during the situation. Ultimately, he threatens each and everybody that if they don't back down, they'll see a force like they've never seen before. Have a look at this clip.
I decided to conduct a special military operation. Its goal is the protection of the people who, for 8 years, suffered from abuse and genocide from the Kiev regime. We urge you to lay down arms immediately and go home. I will explain. All servicemen of the Ukrainian army who comply with this requirement can freely leave the area of military action and return to their families. Whoever would try to stop us and further create threats to our country, to our people, should know that Russia's response will be immediate and lead you to such consequences that you have never faced in your history. We are ready for any outcome.
So I think that brings a little bit of an idea of how bad and how serious the situation really is. And as you can see in the final clip on Putin's speech, he does actually mention about the apparent things that are going on in Ukraine, such as the bullying and the genocides. But either way, I know, or I hope, that this will be the end of Putin and Putinism altogether. And I'm sure there's quite a lot that I've missed out regarding the situation, or things may change, especially in the next 2 to 3 days, regarding the information that I've just given you guys. But it's genuinely a situation that's really putting me down at the moment, and it's something that I've not stopped thinking about since the 24th of February, since it's all just kicked off, as I'm sure is the case with many other people watching this video right now. And as I mentioned at the start, the reason these things are genuinely upsetting me is because I do have friends who have family in Ukraine, and I also know people and know of people in Ukraine, friends in Ukraine, so it's fucking scary. But the longer I bottle up my feelings about this situation, the worse it's going to get, the more upset I'm going to get, the more angry I'm going to get, and in the end it's just going to result in me bursting out and, you know, maybe having a bit of a rant. And the more and more that I think about it and not talk about it, the more it's going to get me down. So I had to say something about it at least, you know, be it a bit of background, be it a bit of a rant. And yeah, I know that me sitting here talking about it, it's not going to help anyone or anything like that. And it really does suck that the best thing that we can do right now is sit and wait. The best thing we can do right now is to just show our support for Ukraine and keep praying for them that things will be okay in the end. Thanks for watching, guys.